And for more, joining us is DD India correspondent Akshay Dongre from Delhi. Akshay, if you can take us through Minister Jaishankar's articulation of India's position on the Venezuelan situation, advocating the path for dialogue to end the crisis.
Well, Shubhendu, the way and especially in the manner this entire scenario has played out with, earlier the attacks on the boats and the ships that were doing trade with Venezuela, and then we saw that the sort of pressure escalated, and U.S. Ultimately struck Caracas and neighboring areas, taking President Maduro to their country, and now sort of judgment that is going on, the trial that is going on, has obviously been in violation of the UN Charter, has been in violation of several rule-based orders that we follow, that the world is supposed to follow, that US as one country that has been one of the most powerful military in the world, one of the most powerful economy in the world, has been advocating for decades now. And now it is the country that has shred the UN Charter, the rule-based order that the world is supposed to follow, and that's perhaps the reason why countries like India are stepping up now as far as that role of global leadership is concerned, reminding the world, and especially the powers that are there, that are not following this rule-based order world, to return to dialogue and diplomacy. And so the statement that has been given by Dr. S. Jaishankar is very simple. It's a direct message to the people of Venezuela that India, as the world's largest democracy, is more concerned about the safety, and its priority remains in the safety of the people of Venezuela. A sort of bonhomie that India and Venezuela also share. Both of the countries are part of the global south. Both of the countries are part of a developing world, and that's the reason why India has advocated for dialogue and diplomacy instead of the kind of aggressive action that is not only being spoken about but also being taken on the ground. Dr. Jaishankar has also in Luxembourg said that the Indian embassy in Caracas is obviously in touch with the Indian community members, in the Indian diaspora that is living there, and is already to provide every aspect of security that can be given to those people, because the tensions still remain in the area, with repeated threats coming in from the United States that if Delcy Rodriguez, that is now the interim president of the country, does not fall in line, there will be even worse action against her than Nicolas Maduro. And clearly threats are being given, so obviously there will be concerns, and that is what Dr. S. Jaishankar has addressed during his speech in Luxembourg.
Akshay, as you mentioned, India has repeatedly put the welfare of the people of Venezuela at the center, also the welfare of Indian nationals who may be living in Venezuela. What are you learning about the aftermath of the US action in Venezuela as we speak?
Well, clearly there are multiple aspects of the aftermath. First is obviously the political aftermath, in which Delcy Rodriguez has been elected the interim president, and the political divide that has now being seen in the country, with the opposition in a way backing the action that has been taken by the US government of taking Nicolas Maduro back to the US soil, and the court cases that are going on, whereas the government that is present, the acting government in Venezuela right now, obviously calling for return of Nicolas Maduro. So that is the political landscape. There is obviously a split. The country is heading towards a more difficult time as far as political scenario is concerned. There is going to be friction, there is going to be protests, and possibly violence as well if the police tries to intervene. Then the economy obviously has been dwindling down, and with the recent actions there is more tension on the economy as well. People are living in a sort of uncertainty about their government, about who controls what, about what kind of future action may be seen in the region. It's quite tense right now. Countries such as China, Russia, India, that have been trading partners are obviously cautious in how to proceed ahead with the sort of business that they have done with the country. While there are tensions, but obviously countries like India are now once again reminding the world that dialogue and diplomacy and not aggression is going to be the way forward for our civilization to move ahead and live in a rule-based, peaceful world for our next generations.
Akshay, thank you for joining us with those updates.